Good morning. Today's date is 18th of September 2022. The name's Tony Hayes, Paranormal Investigation UK. Time just coming up to 10:35 on a Sunday morning. Today we're looking at a capture that's been sent in by Mike. It's from a two-story building, and bangs, thuds and so on have been heard from the attic area, and we're fortunate to have been able to send in a small section which he's been able to do on his mobile phone as a movie. I've already extracted the audio from it. I had a quick listen earlier. Now, the reviews itself, Mike, this is probably more important to you. Is it? We tend to record these now, so you can generally see the extent that we go to trying to find answers for phenomena that gets reported to us, rather than me just sending a simple email to say, he's got a rational explanation or whatever that is. I find audio, raps, thuds and bangs, one of the few areas of the paranormal where we're able to measure it as far as signature sounds are concerned. Is something we'll be dealing with this. So, for example, if you're hearing unexplained sounds coming from an attic area, that's quite common. We also get reports of footsteps upstairs, so people in the living room, and they can hear people walking about around the bedroom area. Raps, bangs and thuds have been recorded for well over a century. We have known about them a long time, and we've been fortunate on our side that we were dealing with a case that allowed us to film these occurring on CCTV captures, and up to date we've probably analysed over 900, and it does leave behind a very unique signature with sound, as again I'll explain as we go into in more detail. So it's not just about listening to your sound, it's about analysing it, and can we find a rational explanation, because 90% of the time there is rational explanation for activity being reported, whatever that is. I'm not saying in all cases, sometimes we're just simply not sure. So let's see how we actually go with this. So I've extracted the audio as a WAV uncompressed file. Let me just put my battery in my laptop in. Right, that's that sorted. Okay, it's quite low in volume. There's a couple of bits there. Okay, there's my analyzer. Well, I'm just going to loop it, just simply keep playing it front to back, and let's have a listen. I do use amplified headphones. I have a Rode microphone where I do these reviews on, which in itself has its own output for headphones. So, and I have a separate volume. So I may hear better than if you're listening on, for example, on a smartphone or laptop computer speakers. If I always suggest that people use over here headphones are better, but if you've got earbuds, then that's fine. Okay. Right, okay. It's been a while since I've heard it, what I call a machine gun rapping. Generally, what you get is single raps, maybe 2, 3 maximum, but not multiple raps like that. I have come across it, but it's been a while. Now, what's interesting with this is the software. What it's using is just your general normal volume that your mobile phone is recorded with it. It has got a little bit of almost infrasound in the corner there, this bass frequency. I presume you're holding the mobile phone. It's some distance away. Otherwise, we were picking up the sound in here. We're not seeing anything, so it's quite some distance away. So if you're in the bedroom, for example, and the sound's coming from the loft area, I would still expect to hear that. You get some sort of frequency. I'm going to be amplifying it anyway because I need to know what the frequency is. But my first comment is it's in very low volume. It is travelling through areas such as ceilings. There may even be a floor if you're in the living room when you've heard there. I don't know the exact circumstances. I have sent you a form to complete, Mike. I also need to know where when you actually record these down, what I'm after is the exact date, the exact time where you were and what room that it was in. It may be that we need to get you to write a plan out of the house, first floor, second floor, and so on, to have a general idea of the layout to see if the sound is always coming from one area. Because I think the message you sent today was something regarding to a wardrobe. So, okay, let's move on with this one. So what I'm actually going to do now, I'm going to bring some EQ in. I'm just using this for amplification purposes initially, because I need to lift the volume up. I'm not using any EQ. Now, with this, even though you can distinctly hear the banging, there's not enough frequency recorded within the audio. As you can see here, there's nothing there. In fact, what I'll do, I'll put another, and I'll go find a sound. Usually got some samples there somewhere. Yeah, these are bangs that I've done on another case. You'll get this frequency as it's reacting, and sometimes they can be very, very specific. So if you've got a single thump, for example, you'll get this effect. We're showing absolutely nothing in this stream. That in itself is unusual. Because if you're recording something at, say, I think you sent the message in the early hours, 3:30 or something like that, the outside is going to be quiet anyway. And if you've got disturbed sleep for any reason, you can't sleep, you will hear an awful lot more than you will do if you should do it during the day. I'm not saying that's what it is. All I'm doing is suggesting a alternative reason for that, because this is some distance away there. Okay, right, I'm going to loop it and start bringing the sound up. it seems to be around 150. Well, I've never heard anything like that before. It's almost like a... almost like Morse code. This is a strange one.
As we all know, rock and roll is made by Satan. Buried 48 minutes into an album of continuous music, Fuck Off RB, directed at Virgin Records.
Bloody advert. Sometimes it's just about running theories. I'm not saying I'm right with this by any stretch. Yeah, I just slowed it down. Now I'm going to speed it up now. what we have to, the reason why I'm looking at that, is out of interest really, is that there's a phenomenon called electronic voice phenomena, or the EVP. We have to come across this where the sound itself, the tempo differs greatly from human speech. So, for example, we have to find we need to slow it down by 50%. And with this, I've actually speeded it up by 50%, because it seems to be tapping in a regular pattern. That's relatively rare. It's not unknown, but it is relatively rare. What I'm going to need to do is I spoke to somebody quite recently who are running a case where they were dealing with appeared to be Morse code tapping out, and certainly we have dealt with cases where the old one rat for yes and two rats for no cliche is being used to good effect. So I'm going to actually stop the review at this point, because I've got a bit of a confusion. One is the low level of it. Let me just put this back to 100. The low level of the volume. It's definitely difficult for me to pick out exactly the sound, that frequency that we're dealing with. But what we have got is a huge amount of infrasound in the corner here, which we can see. Even when the volume's right, if we take the volume right off, it's in this corner. That's our bass frequency. That isn't making a sound because it's under 20 hertz. If it's under 20 hertz, we cannot hear that. We can only hear something that's over 20. And if I go into average, it's really, really strange. Okay. I think a phone call may be in order with this one. Because all we can do at the moment is just continue to analyse what it is that you've got. I think the last one was so we'll speak to somebody with regard to the Morse code sounding. This is what the suggestion was in this particular property. The sound they're hearing reminded them of Morse code. Wrong folder. Yeah, okay. Right, okay, I'm actually going to save that video now. It'll give you something just to get your head round. We generally do this because I would end, with this one, I end up writing an essay. I'm quite sure you can take on board what it is that I'm suggesting. So I think as a way forward, I will go and speak to somebody that's dealt with this Morse code rapping sounds, which is unexplained. We can't completely rule out outside sound, but it's not something like a central heating pipe. But I think we can rule that out. because I'd expect that to vibrate through the house, and we would have a certain spectrum on the analyzer for that. We haven't got that. So the sound itself is basically, you can see, it's traveling through maybe a ceiling, may even be a floor. It's possible that if it's a semi-detached or terrace housing, that it's some of the older 18th century terrace housing, or the attic. If you've got 5 or 6 houses in a row, all the attics, you could move from one property to the other. So it may be one of those sorts of things that we need to get you to have a peer your head through, and just have a look to make sure both sides are in fact they are blocked off for each property, and sound isn't just travelling down it, because it is some distance away, because I'm not picking up any frequency in the analyzer. So if it's in another room, I would expect to see a blip, certainly within it here. We're just getting very small traces of frequency. It's just not enough for me. But let's just see how we go. So at the moment, maybe some time might be before we get any sort of concrete answers for you. But for the moment, I won't be too over concerned. They're just unexplained sounds. Although I do accept this one is a little bit unusual, because it seems to be banging in some sort of sequence, which is I have come across before. So that's one of where I want to push the boundaries. If you can fill in that online form for us, give me a little bit of information on the questions I've asked on this review. If necessary, we can have a chat over the phone. I'm out later this afternoon, but we'll be back around tea time, or we can speak to you tomorrow or later on. It's up to yourself with that one. So that is about as much as I've got to say at the moment. It's an interesting one. I haven't got any answers. Normally at this point I'll be coming up with some sort of rational explanation, and I haven't got anything. So for me, that's a plus. So okay, speak to you soon. Bye.